Hello, my name is Callista, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. In the last episode, Nephri was tasked by Beraht to find some sufferer named Oskias who had been swindling him out of his profits. And we know just what Beraht does to cheaters, so let's track this guy down. Lesky mentioned that this guy had merchant caste family, so we'll probably be staying in Tapsters.
Spare silver. My boy needs medicine. The docs say he won't wake without it.
Yeah, I'd just like to mention, Nephri takes no pleasure in what she's about to do, but she doesn't want to end up like this lady. She doesn't want to end up sat on a corner begging for coin, and she doesn't want Rika to have to do that. So, if killing some guy is the price for not begging, then that's what Nephri will do. And a new codex entry.
What are you doing here, Brand?
Fuck you, that's what I'm doing. The city of Orzammar. The dwarves are lauded for their craftsmanship, and the city of Orzammar is one of their finest works. Orzammar lies at the heart of the Frostback Mountains, deep underground. The city arcs outward from the royal palace, which is built around a natural lava vent, continually fountaining liquid rock, which both lights and heats the entire cavern. The topmost tier of Orzammar is home to the noble caste, with their palaces fanning out in both directions from the court of the king, as well as the Shaperate, which serves as a repository for all dwarven knowledge. The lower tier is the commons, where the merchant caste holds sway, and where the finest works of Orzammar's craftsmanship are for sale. In the centre of the river of lava, connected to the commons by a causeway, are the proving grounds, a sacred arena where the dwarves, by ancient tradition, settle their disputes. On one side of the fiery river are the ruins of old dwarven palaces, fallen into disrepair, which the locals call Dust Town, now home to the city's castless. On the other side of the river are the Deep Roads, which once joined the sprawling dwarven empire together, but now, after centuries of darkspawn incursions, are largely sealed off. Nearly all knowledge of this network of underground passages has been lost, even to its builders. From Pursuit of Knowledge by let me try that again. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genitivi. There we go. I'd just like to say, I imagine Nephri is completely illiterate. So, who's reading these codex entries? I don't know. It certainly isn't Nephri. Oh, this guy, Cash. So, I imagine that Nephri would know exactly who this guy is. I imagine that he probably... It's fairly common for him to kind of go amongst the castless and, you know, buy teeth and hair and things like that. And I think Nephri is kind of proud that I've never had to do that for him. I've always been in a position where I'm working for the Carter, or I'm running scams with that urchin gang I used to run with. And I've never had to sell my teeth, I've never had to sell my hair, Rika's never had to do that. And I think it's a bit of a point of pride for Nephri that she's kind of prevented her family from being forced into that. So yeah, she's gonna avoid him.
Have you heard? King's got a team who found traces of Branka in the Deep Roads.
Oh? Found her body, did they?
No, tools. Signs of camp, things like that.
Paragon or not, Branka's dead. She's been gone 2 years. No one survives the Deeps that long.
That would be interesting, but in Nephri's mind, Branka Schmanka, who cares? What has the Paragon ever done for Nephri?
Lesky, you old scamp. What are you doing here? Trying to charm me out of another set of ribbons for your girl?
Trying to talk you into being my girl, Olinda. You know my heart's breaking for you.
Don't you go saying that around my husband. Who's your friend?
We're here to check out your wares. I'm Nephri, pleased to meet you. I can't believe Lesky never told you about his best friend. This is a waste of time. Let's get going. I don't think Nephri's manners are that good to where she'd be like, oh, pleasure to meet you, madam. And to be honest, we can't afford anything this lady is selling. I imagine that Nephri probably came over here. Maybe Lesky gave Olinda a wave or like a little nod of the head, and so Nephri was kind of like, oh, you know this woman, I'll go and have a chat to her. I can't believe Lesky never told you about his best friend.
Hey, when I'm with a lady, the last thing I'm thinking about is you.
Well, look around, sweetheart. I'll slide you on the markup, being that you're friends. But I can't give anything away for free.
I'll take a look. We should really get going. You know what? We'll take a look. I'll take a look.
Just don't touch anything if you can't meet the price.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to meet the price of anything. Please ignore the copious amounts of gold that Nephri has in her pack. We'll just pretend those aren't there for now. Cheap moss wine. The bottle bears no label and the contents smell astringent. So, basically, this is a gift for Carla. If you manage to scrounge together 12 copper and you take this and give it back to Carla, basically a very heartbreaking scene plays where she's like, oh, you're such a good kid. Oh, and like she's after the scene before where she's like, you know, oh, you've only got 1 coin to barter and it's between your legs. I wish I had whored you out like I whored out your sister. After that, she is so lovely to you for bringing her this moss wine. And it's really sad just how toxic a relationship Carla has with her kids. It is heartbreaking, but it makes complete sense. Carla is an alcoholic, and presumably moss wine is quite difficult for her to get a hold of, and it's just feeding her addiction. So of course she's going to be lovely to you, and it's heartbreaking. It really is. Now, Nephri isn't the kind of kid who would feed her mother's addiction, so she's not going to buy the moss wine. I think she's just kind of looking at you. Oh, look at all the nice things I'll never be able to buy. Also, I do think that Nephri thinks of Lesky as her best friend. I know she was kind of harsh to him in the last episode, but that was just because he was talking kind of sleazy about Rika. And that was the only reason she was kind of being a bit harsh towards him. I think for the vast majority of the time, they've got a pretty good friendship going on. They're kind of sarcastic, a lot of banter.
Great prices on all arms and armor, like they were crafted by the Paragon Smith Bronca herself.
Now this is something Nephri would find interesting. I don't know if you can see it. This man has a castless face brand, yet he's selling stuff.
Do you mind? I have nothing you can afford, and as long as you're here, no one else will come.
Who are you? You're a merchant. Why do you wear a castless face brand? Are you going to have me arrested for standing here? I was just leaving. You're a merchant. Why do you wear a castless face brand?
Same as you. It's illegal for me to walk here without one. I'm from the surface, so by the law of assembly, I'm castless. But I think of the brand as just a part of the license to vend my wares. I use a washable ink, and when I return home, it's gone first thing. I cannot imagine wanting to wear the beastly thing every day.
Just let me see what you have for sale. You have another suggestion? You think I'd choose to live like this? It's not that bad down here, right, Lesky? Never mind, Lesky. Let's go. So Nephri feels very complicated about being castless. I mean, as you can see, she's had her brand expanded. You know, it goes up and across her forehead. So clearly she saved up some money to have that tattooed on. And I think part of her does wear it as a badge of pride. In that kind of like, I'm still here. I have survived terrible conditions. I have done horrific things. And I am still here. At the same time, part of her, I think, how do I want to call it? I don't know if guilty is the right word for it. She feels badly. You know, like, I've had to kill people. I've had to do some horrible, horrible shit to survive. Things that, you know, a decent person shouldn't have to do. But I've done it, and I'm going to continue doing it for the rest of my life, because what other option do I have? So I think she's very conflicted about herself, and I think her place in this world. Not number 4. And here's the thing. She could just go to the surface. She kind of is choosing to live like this, because she could just very easily walk out the front door. It's just Rika's here. Rika's here, and Rika won't walk out the front door. Because Rika won't leave Carla, and Carla won't leave. So she is choosing to live here, but it's because her family are here. She won't abandon them. I guess that leaves me with number 2. You have another suggestion?
If you were on the surface, you could open a shop, claim land, and start a farm, and get legally married by the human chantry. Orzammar is the only place in the world that will treat you like this. Yet you all stay. I'll never understand it.
Just let me see what you have for sale. But isn't the surface disgusting and full of humans? I wouldn't still be castless on the surface. They say surface dwarves lose touch with the stone. If I wanted to be called an idiot, I'd ask my mother. Not number 2. Nephri has nothing against the humans. She doesn't really... I guess Nefri's world is very, very small. Why should she be concerned with the humans? Nephri isn't a princess of Orzammar. She doesn't have to worry about diplomacy and foreign relations and all of that. Nefri's biggest concern is, where is my next meal coming from? How are we going to pay the rent? Those are her concerns. So I don't think she would have ever considered if the surface is disgusting and full of humans. Who cares? And I really don't like number 4 either, because I don't think Nephri cares about the stone. What has the stone ever done for her? You can't even say, oh, well, what about your ancestors? Nephri doesn't have any ancestors. She's castless. Which leaves me with number 3, but... You know what? Maybe Nephri doesn't know that there isn't a caste system on the surface. Maybe she thinks that there is some kind of caste system, but it's slightly different from Orzammar. Maybe she kind of thinks like, oh, I'd just be walking in, you know, from one system into another, and I might be even worse off out there because I've abandoned this caste system. Maybe that's what she thinks. I wouldn't still be casteless on the surface?
There is no caste on the surface. Every dwarf there is a foreigner, so we all help each other. It always seems sad to me that our homeland is the one place in this world where you're likely to be killed by a fellow dwarf. Now, unless you're gonna buy something, I need to unload and get home before the rain sets in. That's water from the sky, by the way.
Can I take a look at your wares? Goodbye then. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to afford anything this guy has. Goodbye then.
I hope you make better luck for yourself in the future.
I don't know what Nephri would make of that. Specifically his last comment that, you know, oh, I hope you make better luck for yourself in the future. Because I don't think anyone who either wasn't related to Nephri or wasn't a friend, I highly doubt any other dwarf has ever told her that. Because Orzammar is such a look out for yourself, look out for your own society, so a random dwarf saying, oh, I hope you do all right, that would probably be something Nephri never heard before. And hello, miss.
Watch yourself. The Shaper doesn't need your footprints all over his clean clothes.
Sorry, I'll let you get back to your washing. I didn't touch anything. You work for a Shaper. What are you doing? I didn't touch anything.
Well, stand further back. I'm not going to risk my position by having someone see you near his robes. After my mother took 5 years of her personal time sewing fine dresses for the head maid at the Shaperate, Mother tells me they never considered a single other candidate when the position opened for underwasher.
Sorry, I'll let you get back to your washing. If you're just a servant, aren't you castless too? Yeah, no, she's servant caste. Nephri would know that. Is working for a shaper that prestigious? What exactly does a shaper do? I imagine that Nephri would know what a shaper does. Maybe not the ins and outs, but they have something to do with the memories. I think that's what Nephri would be thinking. Yeah, I think Nefri's main point would be, you're just washing his small clothes. What right do you have to say that you're better than me? You're just cleaning his undies. Is working for a shaper that prestigious?
It's barely under the king himself. They control Orzamar's memories. They oversee births, marriages, death records, histories, everything we do or are. Except you, I guess. Castless and criminals aren't allowed in a shaper's presence.
Sorry, I'll let you get back to your washing. If you're just a servant, aren't you castless too? Why not? Nephri would know that. Nephri would know why not. So yeah, I think she's just gonna... This woman is just gonna kind of talk down to us. Let's leave her be. Sorry, I'll let you get back to your washing.
As if I'd stop for you.
Excuse me, I think you'll find you did, love. The Cass. Visitors to Orzammar should keep in mind that the hierarchies of Dwarven society are much more complex than our own. It is easy to gravely insult a man simply by mistaking his position. Since this can lead to unnecessary loss of life and limbs, I will attempt to mitigate the danger for my fellow travellers. The society of Orzammar is divided into nobles, warriors, smiths, artisans, miners, merchants, and servants. Now, you are undoubtedly saying to yourself, we have all those divisions among our own people. This is a dangerous misconception. Certainly, we do have nobility, artisans, merchants, and these positions are largely inherited from our parents. However, the younger children of noblemen often choose to be artisans or soldiers. The sons of merchants may join the army or become servants or apprentice themselves to a craftsman. This is all freely chosen, limited perhaps by circumstances of birth, but still chosen. What is a matter of choice for most human folk is dictated entirely by birth for dwarves. No one may become a smith who is not born to smith caste parents. A servant who marries a noblewoman will never be a noble himself, and although his daughters would be nobles, his sons would be servants. For daughters inherit the caste of their mother, while sons inherit the caste of their father. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genitivi. Yes, very interesting.
This place is going to the nugs. Cast that's running around like they own the place.
I think Nephri... I don't think she'd be tempted to start a fight with the guards, just because this is something she'll have heard ever since, she was young. So it's common, she's used to it. It pisses her off, yeah, but again, it's just kind of a fact of her life. Now then, yep, there's Oskias. However, I think it's probably wise to check in with the bartender.
The ancestors were smiling on my bets today. Another round from the house.
Okay, sir.
No castless.
Just tell me if you've got a customer named Oskias. Take a closer look before you say that. Seems you've got an open door policy on martyrs, though. Take a closer look before you say that.
Who the dust are you? Oh, my mistake. I didn't realize you were one of his. I'm not looking for any trouble.
Tell me if you know where to find a man named Oskias, then just stay out of my way. Too late. Tell me if you know where to find a man named Oskias.
Is that what this is all about? He's here, all right. Right over there. Been nursing that same mug half the day. Paid up front, though. Good silver. What's he done?
Made Beraht unhappy. Bad idea for him. You want to make that your business, ask too many questions, refuse to serve me an ale. You want to make that your business?
Sorry, just trying to make conversation. You, do what you have to. Just, try and keep it neat. I'm still paying for this space.
Oh, it'll be neat, all right.
Hey, I was saving that seat.
That's real thoughtful, Oskias. It's tiring work looking for you.
How do you know my name?
Did you think Beraht wouldn't find out you're cheating him? Let's just say we've got a mutual friend. We're here to stop you from making a big mistake, empty your bags. If we like what we see, you keep breathing. Did you think Beraht wouldn't find out you're cheating him?
Look, I always been loyal to Beraht. He's been good to my family. I know how much I owe him.
Fine, then I'll just kill you and plant the evidence later. Save your excuses, Lesky searches bags. Then why have you been holding out on him? I believe you, but I just had to make sure. We're here to do a job. We're not here to ask questions. Save your excuses. Lesky searches bags.
My pleasure.
Wait, I do have some lyrium. It's just ore. I made a side deal with one of the mining families. If it worked out, I was gonna bring Beraht his cut, I swear. I'd be crazy not to.
Suicidal, one might say.
No one messes with the boss. That's good enough for me. You're going down. How much ore did you take? How long have you been cheating Beraht? Who have you been selling to? I don't think Nephri is really interested in 4 or 5. It doesn't matter how long he's been cheating Beraht. He has been cheating Beraht, so he's gonna die. And who has he been selling to? Again, that information wouldn't get Nephri much. What's giving me pause is number 3. How much ore did you take? Just so, I think what Nefri's thinking is that if we take the ore that he has on him and then Beraht is like, where's the rest? Nephri isn't going to have any answers. And then he could punish her for like, well, why didn't you ask him? Like, now there's ore somewhere that I don't know where it is. Like, why were you so stupid? How much ore did you take?
Just a little, maybe 25 sovereigns worth.
25 sovereigns?
Most of that's with my buyers on the surface. I just picked up a few nuggets down here. If I were to maybe give you a piece, that's a lot of coin. Could you forget to mention this to Beraht?
I'm listening. We help you. Beraht's after us next. Hold him still, Lesky. How long have you been cheating Beraht? Who have you been selling to? Yeah, Nephri is not about to start fucking about with Beraht's business. Absolutely not. That would be, as Lesky said, suicidal. We help you. Beraht's after us next. Hold him still, Lesky.
No, I'll give it back. I'll find more. I'll get Beraht double what he can make in a year. Triple. I swear. Just, please, don't kill me.
Stop squirming, or this is really going to hurt. How long have you been cheating Beraht? Who have you been selling to? Give me one good reason not to kill you. Yeah, no. No, Beraht told us. Well, he didn't outright tell us, but it's pretty obvious. He wants this guy dead. He wants to send a message. We're just going to do as we're told. Stop squirming, or this is really going to hurt.
Could everyone who isn't about to die please turn around for a moment? This may be unpleasant. Thank you.
You can't do this. Help! Call the guardsmen! This is murder!
You two let me know if you need anything. I'll be in the back.
It's just a bunch of rocks. You're gonna kill me for that?
Sorry, Salrocker. A job's a job. I wish there was another way. Sorry, Salrocker. A job's a job.
No!
I do love the bartender who's just like, if you need anything, I'll be in the back. Come on. Lesky, get in here. Also, rumors.
Run while you still can.
There we go. Nice. 2 lyrium nuggets. This chunk of rock sings to itself, a sustained high note that sounds almost joyful. Faintly glowing crystals stud its surface. Interesting. Yes, no one saw anything. Yeah, no one. The bartender has buggered off. Good job, bartender. Very smart.
We have to get this stuff back to Beraht before he starts wondering what we've been doing.
Yeah, good idea. We don't want to keep him waiting. And yeah, I believe... Yeah, right here.
Got it.
The king is old. His rule won't hold much longer.
Prince Balin seems far more sympathetic to our interests than Trian.
Balin has some tastes of his own that he knows I can provide. We'll finish this later. It's about time you two showed up. What happened with Oskias?
He's dead. Here's the lyrium. Give 2 nuggets. We found Oskias. He had a side deal going for lyrium. Persuade, lie. He's guilty. Here's the lyrium. Give 1 nugget. Persuade, lie. He didn't have any lyrium or gold on him. No, I don't think Beraht really gives a shit about the details. He just wants his lyrium. He's dead. Here's the lyrium.
Excellent. I'll send someone out to handle the cleanup. Not you, though. I have another job in mind for you.
Anything you want, boss. Do I get to make some dust to cry? I was kind of hoping to spend time with my sister. Let me guess. I don't really have a choice. Again, Nephri just wants to nod her head and do whatever the fuck Beraht says. Anything you want, boss.
The warrior cast is hosting a proving today. All the best fighters, last man standing, you know the sort of thing. They're showing off for some Grey Warden who's looking for candidates to drag off to a life of eternal glory. Now, it's not often we get every named fighter in Orzammar lined up like that. And I have certain acquaintances who take an interest in this sort of thing.
What does this have to do with us? You're taking bets on the fighters. You want me to enter the proving. Why would the Grey Wardens be here? Ooh. Not number 3. Why on earth would he want us, a complete nobody, to enter the provings? I think Nefri's smart enough to know what the scheme that Beraht is pulling here is. He's taking bets on the fighters. And I don't think she'd ask him why the Grey Wardens are here. I think she'd be thinking it, like, oh, a Grey Warden, what's he doing here? But why would she ask Beraht that? You're taking bets on the fighters.
There's a lot of coin to be made when people get the fever up. Favorite fighter's an officer named Minar, veteran of 4 Darkspawn campaigns. Everd's a long shot. Just got back from a deep roads offensive. Some young fuck who has all the ladies drooling. I've got a lot of money riding on him. Mine and other people's. I expect to see that 8-to-1 pay off. Understand?
I do. So how am I supposed to help Everd win? Where is the proving? Well, she'd know where the provings are. She's lived here her entire life. The reason why I'm pausing is that I'm questioning if Nephri would ask, oh, so how am I supposed to help Everd win? She knows he wants me to sabotage the other fighters. Yeah, I don't think she'd ask. She's competent enough to know sabotage. Sabotage somehow, I'll figure it out. I do.
The fight only gets announced to contestants themselves to prevent illegal gambling. So first, you'll have to find Everd, see who he's fighting and when. When the name Minar comes up, I want you to slip this drug into the bastard's water. It'll slow his reflexes, just enough to take the edge off, not enough to show. But it wears off quickly, so don't use it until just before his fight.
Alright, we'll go now. Does Everd know you're doing this? What is this drug? How am I supposed to get to Minar's water? How do I find Everd? Everd probably doesn't know that we're doing this, because why would he want Castless betting on him? What the drug is irrelevant. How do I... Number 4 and 5 are pretty good. Knowing where this guy is at least would help. How do I find a Verd?
He'll be in the fighters' quarters under the stands.
Yeah, he's not happy with us asking questions. We'll figure out how to get to Minar's water on our own. All right, we'll go right now.
You bet you will. Here's your pass to get on the grounds. The proving starts as soon as the clock strikes. And when I say I have coin on this, I'm not talking about some pittance, like the value of your life. If I don't see a Verd's name on the winner's sheet, you'd better make sure I never see you or your sister ever again.
Yep, that was about all of the threat Nephri needed to hear. Rika's life is potentially on the line if she fucks up here. Yeah, she's going to attempt to do a good job with this. The Proving. Valus Atreides. In the 23rd year of the reign of King Ragnan Idukan, an old man of the servant caste was accused of stealing a sapphire ring from his employer, Lord Dace. The servant was stripped of his position, he and his family thrown to the streets, and soon after the servant died. The son of the disgraced servant challenged Lord Dace to a proving, declaring that his father had been the victim of a cruel injustice and the ancestors would bear him witness. Lord Dace had no choice but to accept. On the sacred stone of the proving ground, the nobleman faced the servant boy. Lord Dace carried a sword crafted for his own hand and was clad in his great-grandfather's armour. The servant boy had neither armour nor weapon. When the battle began, the boy fought like a whole pack of angry deep-stalkers, flinging himself upon the startled lord, wrenching the sword from his hand and prying at his armour with bare fingers. The boy knocked Lord Dace to the ground and beat him until the lord begged for mercy. The boy and his family were reinstated to their place in the Dace household, and the virtue of the boy's father was not questioned again. The ancestors had spoken, and no one would question their word. As told by Shaper Vortag. Again, very interesting. Let me just tag these. Okay, you. There we go. Alrighty then. So I am out of time for this episode. In the next one, we will head over to the Proving Grounds. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below. And if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.